Welcome to Montreal, where the teams are ready for today's practice session at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Personally, I think we're in for a real treat today. In 1999, the outside track wall, situated on the last corner of the lap, ended the race of three Formula One world champions, Damon Hill, Michael Schumacher and Jacques Villeneuve. Since then, the wall has come to be known to fans around the world as the infamous Wall of Champions.
Turns 13 and 14 are definitely the most demanding corners on the track. A quick chicane section entering at over 180 miles per hour, drivers use plenty of curb and get very close to the wall. But hitting those curbs at the wrong angle can easily put the car offline. You'll see a lot of drivers bail out of committing into turn 13 using the escape road to avoid contact with the wall.
What's up YouTube land, Xeno Gaming here, back with my 2019 Formula 1 career mode here. Today we are racing at Montreal. I've been gone for a little while, but now I am back and ready to make some more videos, hopefully for all you guys to enjoy and for me to just try and get back into a rhythm into making videos. I have not done so for quite a long time, and I thought I should get myself motivated and make some YouTube videos, not only for myself but for anybody who would like to watch them. So I'm back ready to make some content for my channel in the future. And anyway, we're here. We're now going to get into the action. We're at the Canadian Grand Prix, one of the better tracks on the calendar in my estimated opinion. It's got nice flowing corners, quick direction changes for corners. The circuit flows well. It's got long straights for overtaking. It's a straight circuit, so there's no way to make a mistake either. Anyway, let's get into practice. So, welcome to the Montreal Grand Prix practice. Here is the first practice program, the track acclimatization one, which we will pass pretty well there with some greens. And then we moved on to tyre wear test, and we were able to only just pass that. I was struggling down the straights because we were running an older power unit in the car, so it wasn't ideal with lap time. We really had to make it up through the corners. And now we move on to, this is practice 2 now, and we're trying to do the qualifying run, and the engine wear was so bad. We're just not making enough time up on the straights, especially around a track like Montreal, and losing a heap amount of time through the corners. And in the end, we just weren't able to make up enough of the time deficit we lost on the straights for and this is actually practice 3, so not practice 2, and we just weren't able to make up the time to set, so I could not pass the qualifying programs, unfortunately. So I wasn't really sure where my pace sat, and I knew I needed to make a change if I wanted to have a good weekend for qualifying in the race, to put in fresh components to at least have a chance to compete, especially on a power track like Montreal, where it is definitely an advantage to the power unit compared to the chassis or aero department. So now let's head on to qualifying. But as you do see, before we go to qualifying, I thought P9, I thought I was looking pretty good for qualifying with the 11.5. But now let's give it to David Croft for the qualifying introduction.
Welcome again then, and we hope you're ready for another fantastic session as the teams prepare to unleash their cars for qualifying at the Canadian Grand Prix. When it comes to getting lap time out of this circuit, it's traditionally been about maximising top speed. Do you simply remove as much downforce as possible, hang on in the corners and max out down the straights?
Top speed is a key factor for this circuit. Even if you can achieve the same lap time as someone running less wing than you, chances are you'll find overtaking difficult if you have too much drag.
So, welcome to the 2019 Canadian Grand Prix Formula 1 qualifying. This is the first session Q1 as we come here to complete our first lap in qualifying in fresh tyres on the soft tyres, and we set a 1 minute 10.9, which is only good enough for which was P9 at the stage. We're ahead of George Russell but behind Kimi Räikkönen. Now, this is with a minute left in the session, minute 44. I thought I'd try and go out a bit early to avoid traffic, and Grosjean comes out in front of us, so hopefully he won't bother us too much as we're here on our last lap and last chance to make it through to Q2 in qualifying. So we go through the left-right chicane, hit the apex pretty well there, trying to use all the road there, using that little bit of runoff room. Grosjean's still in the way, he's not moved out the way just yet. Hopefully he can get out the way on the exit of this corner, but I do struggle for that corner exit speed there out of that chicane. Grosjean still hasn't got out the way, and now we're going to have to go around the outside. I lock up, go off, I plant the power through the corner. I was not happy at this stage, but we're going to try and continue to finish our lap as we come into the hairpin now, back down to second gear. First, ran a bit wide, way too wide, missed the apex. That's going to cost me time all the way down the straight now, unfortunately. Normally I do like to take that hairpin in second gear, but unfortunately carried way too much speed into it. Now the last corner, get up to top speed 335 kilometers, hit it right, left, hit the apex nicely. But unfortunately, with Grosjean being our way on the lap, we're not able to improve the time by much, and it's a 1 minute 10.7, only a tenth and a half improvement, really not even. And here, a bit cheeky, just kind of getting Roman's way, really was not happy with Grosjean being in the way, and unfortunately we have qualified 18th for the Canadian Grand Prix. We've still qualified our teammate Alexander Albon. I'm not sure what happened to him, but also we're able to manage to qualify Kimi Räikkönen. The Williams cars, George Russell has put it 13th on the grid. Kubica has out-qualified us, so that's really unfortunate for us. And yeah, let's go to the race, and hopefully we can improve our results from qualifying.
We're back once again beside the St. Lawrence River here in Montreal for the Canadian Grand Prix. The event first moved to a variant of this track back in 1978. It was won by none other than Gilles Villeneuve, the first Canadian to ever win his home race, and in whose honour the circuit would be renamed. We'll be seeing top speeds of around 210 miles an hour here at the circuit Gilles Villeneuve, with around 2/3 of the lap taken at full throttle. High-speed chicanes spell potential danger, especially at the infamous Wall of Champions. And watch out for overtaking into the hairpin and the final chicane. And it's an absolute pleasure to be joined once again by Anthony Davidson. They're still relatively new to a sport which does have a high learning curve and, of course, little tolerance for mistakes.
And this is something that has ended the career of many a young driver, as that leap up to Formula 1 proves to be too much. But luckily in this case, I'd say they're doing a good solid job, and the risk the team took in signing them is definitely starting to pay off.
It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Valtteri Bottas lines up on pole position, with Sebastian Vettel starting alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Leclerc, Gasly, Max Verstappen and Hamilton. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Perez, Hülkenberg, Ricciardo and Lance Stroll, Grosjean, Magnussen, Devon Butler and Faber, Russell, Norris, Robert Kubica and the captain, Räikkönen, and Alexander Albon picks up the last spot on the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Keep your eyes open on the run to turn 1 and keep it clean. We want to come out in one piece. Good luck.
Welcome to the 2019 Canadian Grand Prix here today from the Gilles Villeneuve circuit here in Montreal. I'm looking forward to this race. Hopefully we can just improve from the disastrous qualifying. We're going to move forward. We're going to start in the super soft tyre. Looking for a two-stop strategy, a very aggressive strategy, I must say, from where we're starting, to use the super soft tyre twice and onto the soft to win the race. So hopefully it pays off for us and we're able to get a really good result. But now here we go, the start of the 2019 Canadian Grand Prix, 5 red lights. And let's go for the Grand Prix of Canada. And it's a poor start from us. A really good start for Kubica by the looks of it. He's able to have a look at his teammate. We go very conservatively into turn 1, Raikkonen on our inside, and really 2 by 2 at the minute here. We're still side by side with Raikkonen. We're able to keep it ahead of him for now as Norris and Kubica battle into turn 3 and 4. Raikkonen still on our outside. We're able to squeeze him out and take P18. So, and it looks like Raikkonen's made contact there with Alexander Albon in the back. So that's unfortunate for the Finnish driver, and he's going to have to come in for a new front wing by the looks of it. Or I'm not sure if he avoided the ball for damage. And now Albon gets a bit of a run at us in the slipstream, but we managed to defend him off into the right-left chicane there. I'm not sure, I think it's turn 8. Yeah, turn 8. Now into the hairpin for the first time, and all the cars going to check up, going really slowly, about 60 kilometers an hour for us. But now, can we look at the back of Kubica's car? We do not want to be stuck behind the Williams for too long. We will be much quicker in this race than him, but that Mercedes Power Williams is pulling him along nicely. So with the Honda engine, we're unfortunately not able to have a look at him this time around with no DRS, as Bottas leads the Grand Prix for Mercedes. They've had a poor start to the year, Mercedes, compared to Ferrari, and they are in desperate need to pull back some points today. As they look at the cluster of cars coming through the first 2 corners, it looks like it's a harsh train up front with Grosjean and Magnussen absolutely slowing the pack down. As we're once again having a look at Robert Kubica, no way through here, but Weber and Norris going side by side. There's brave driving from the both of them. Weber down the inside. Norris looks to hang out around the outside. Can he get in front of the Weber for a position? He has, and well, they're still side by side by the looks of it. Unbelievable racing between the two to go side by side through the whole first sector. Norris once again has track position for the right-hander, and he does finally take the position. He gains a place up to P15 for Lando Norris, the young British driver. And now we're being attacked by our teammate Albon into the hairpin. We have to defend the inside as we manage to do so successfully, as once again we are going to range up onto the back of Kubica. So can we get a move done down here into the last chicane? But no, we move on to the next lap 3, and once again the 2 Haas cars really struggling for race pace early on in this race, it seems. So thanks, Jeff, for that unnecessary information. But here we go, finally got a run on Robert Kubica with the DRS, and we're able to get the job done before the braking zone and make it stick. And now the 2 Haases are really holding each other up. We have a little run here. Can we make a move on Weber? And they check up it. We almost run into the back of Weber and almost knock off our front wing. Luckily for us, we're able to survive the incident, and we move on to now lap 4 here. We're quite a fair way back because I just struggle for drive off turn 6. Unfortunately, it's really a weak point for me around this track. I just can't get the power down. And look at them, they're going 3 wide into the hairpin. Weber, Grosjean and Norris. Magnussen's pulled a gap out on these guys now, and the Haas car is struggling for race pace, just like it is in real life. But now we have a run here, overtake mode. We've got Grosjean on the inside, so we've got a really good run. We've got much more speed than all 3 of them. We're going to go down the inside, and we're going to get 3 overtakes into 1 just before the braking zone. What a move by Zeno to get 3 overtakes done in 1 straight. And now can Zeno find his rhythm and a bit of race pace to close up to the Kevin Magnussen ahead and pull away from the guys behind. And he's going to be really important for our race. Now moving on to the next lap 6, coming through to the end of the first sector, and Weber all over the back of us. And this is this part of the track where I've been struggling. We get too much power down, too eager on the throttle, and we are out of this Grand Prix. So Zeno has crashed on the exit of turn 6, I believe. I'm not sure what the corner number is. I'm probably got it wrong about 3 or 4 times. So that will be the end of his race.
So, another excellent win from Ferrari. What do you think it was, Ant, that gave them the edge over the competition today?
Well, time management probably played quite a large role in the outcome of this one. As ever, it's not just about speed, it's all about maintaining that speed consistently over a stint, over a race distance. So being able to keep up the lap times while still being smooth on the controls and gentle on the tyres, that's really where the race was won today.
And here we are, a team that is no stranger to the podium, taking their place on top once again. A sublime race today and a stunning win for Ferrari.
So Sebastian Vettel has won the Canadian Grand Prix with Charles Leclerc. No, sorry, not Charles Leclerc. I got my names wrong. With Bottas finishing second, Hamilton third. So Mercedes fight back, but still not enough to beat Sebastian Vettel, who is absolutely flying at the minute. Leclerc finishes fourth, Verstappen fifth, Gasly sixth, Perez seventh, Devin Butler with a nice race from 13th to 8th, and then Nico Hulkenberg ninth, with Daniel Ricciardo rounding out the points in position number 10. Lance Stroll just missing out in 11th place. Back to me, that corner, that chicane, I really struggled to get the power down onto that straight. It is a DRS straight. It's a very important straight because the AI is so quick out of that corner. And knowing that wave was behind me, I think I was just trying too hard to make sure I wasn't overtaken into the next corner. And I used way too much throttle and spun the car into the wall. It's an embarrassing crash, but it's what it is. And we'll go to the next race in France, hopefully looking for a better result. So that was unfortunate for us. Could have been a good Grand Prix for us. It looked like after starting 18th to get to 14th after the first 4 laps looked really promising. But you can't be throwing it away by putting the car in the wall. And we're going to be getting a powertrain update for the next race in France, hopefully. And I was just looking at seeing how it had 845 resource points, thinking what should I do. I decided to put it into another durability. I like to know that my car is going to be reliable on parts to make sure I don't have to. I hate taking grid penalties, so I don't really want to have to do that towards the end of the year. We probably will have to at some point, but yeah, just trying to make sure we max out the durability as much as we can to make sure I don't take any grid penalties for the end of the year. The morale's a bit down, so it actually costs a little bit more, which is unfortunate for us. So we're going to be speaking nice to the media in future events. So hopefully I get more consistent content back to the channel. I know I've been gone for a while, just been a bit lazy to be honest. Here's the championship standings. Vettel and Leclerc absolutely dominating at the minute. So yeah, we've only scored the 8 points so far with our finish and result from Baku. So hopefully we're able to find more points from next races out in France, Austria. These tracks may not suit the car so much with where their engine power is at. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video today. Please leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time when I drop another video. See ya.